Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible day as always, and it is time for the weekly news update where we cover everything that is significant happening on both the Songbird and the Flare network. So we're starting off here with a nice little video talking about the DeFi flywheel for XRP, which is just about to get spinning. So as many of you know, F Assets version 1.1 is currently live on the Songbird network and is soon to come to the Flare network in the form of an F asset. One of the main high-profile applications is going to be the staking application built by Firelight, and they're talking about this being a flywheel effect, XRP on Flare, and it's something that I'm extremely excited about. And for anyone that's interested, I'm going to be doing guides and walkthroughs on how to use this application. And for the Patreon fam, I'm also going to be looking at strategies, how to maximize yields. Right, moving on here, we got this big news. This is the F asset timeline. When is it going to happen? That's the question on everyone's lips. Well, it could be as early as next month, August, early to mid-August. So that's the timeline that we have. And again, this is subject to certain conditions. I got this from Hugo. So initially you will see that I asked him about the audit, if it was complete, if so, what was the results, or are we just waiting on Firelight? Because Hugo did actually say that he wants F assets to launch in parallel with Firelight, so people have a reason to bridge FXRP onto the Flare network. And this is what he had to say. Much stronger than expected institutional demand at launch for XRP on Flare has meant that we have extended the F asset audit process. We expect the audit for FXRP to come back at the beginning of August. Assuming it comes back without any issues, we could look to an early August launch. So this is under the assumption that the audit comes back without any major issues. So this is something to just note. Hugo did not say that they are launching in August. He's saying we will launch potentially in August, assuming the audit comes back as expected with no issues. Right. Moving on here, Firelight, you may be wondering what it looks like. This is what the actual interface is going to look like. This is just a demo account, I'm assuming right now. Obviously with 50 trillion FXRP, that's an impossibility. But yeah, this is what it would look like. From my perspective, it looks very clean. And yeah, that's the first preview that we've seen. Now, a lot of people always ask me about this. Can you show me a video on how to use this application? Since the application hasn't launched yet, nor F Assets has launched, I'm not able to show you how to do this. And a lot of people asked this question, and a lot of people did when delegation was not even a thing. Now, when delegation was just starting out on the Songbird network, I did actually run through the theory on how it works. I was talking about having to wrap your assets. You need to select one or more delegators. You need to select a ratio, a percentage on how you're going to split that delegation. Then you've got to claim every so often. As many of you know in the community now, this is actually able to be done in less than 30 seconds, but without a visual walkthrough, people were always complaining how complicated this seemed, how convoluted the process would be. Without having to see a visual interface for me to walk through. So I'm actually just going to hold back, and when this website goes live, you can expect these guides and tutorials. Get ready, the F Asset Incentive Program launches with 2.2 billion FLR to fuel F Asset adoption and bring institutional grade DeFi to Flare. Validation is clear. Uphold and Vivo Power's $100 million commitments signal prime time for Flare networks. We are ready to set the stage for XRP DeFi. So, if you didn't already know, this is a new initiative that continues the success of FIP09, which was the rFLR reward emissions. They lasted for 12 months. This new incentive is almost a pivot to, instead of building this DeFi layer, which we have really strong right now with over 200 million in liquidity or TVL, they're pivoting towards supporting the F asset system. Now, we actually ran through this entire blog post over on the YouTube channel. It was quite a long video, so I would recommend checking that out. In fact, I will link it above for anyone that is interested in going through this in detail. But some of the things that you need to know: 2.2 billion is a much larger amount to distribute over the course of the next 12 months. This is the planned dates. And just to put that into perspective, 2.2 billion is 4 times the rFLR that was emitted in the last 12 months. So overall, we can expect quadruple the rewards moving forward. Now, they're not going to be released all, I guess, in a similar fashion. You can see that the rewards are going to increase each and every month for up to 9 months, and then it's going to decrease. And this is where you can expect the most rewards, which is in the 9th month, which is going to be around March. Again, these are the timelines, and I go through this document in detail in the video that I did link above. This was one of my favorite quotes from that blog post. It said, "With liquidity flowing, protocols launching, and new primitives on the horizon, the Flare ecosystem is ready for a new wave of builders, users, and institutions." And I think this is the biggest thing. Institutions are very interested in gaining a yield on their XRP. People have been holding XRP dormant for quite some time now, and to have this option to gain a yield is very attractive, not just for me and you, but also for these institutions and whales that hold massive amounts of XRP. And this is going to bring an explosion of TVL, total value locked, onto the Flare network, which in turn draws interests from developers and users. This is why you're in the right place at the right time. Moving on here, as mentioned previously, 200 million total value unlocked. Not the end, but the beginning of a model built for capital, stickiness, and composability over masonry farming. Core DeFi primitives live. Stablecoin liquidity established. Deep cross-chain incentives reserved. Flare is set for an XRP DeFi chapter. Yes, it does seem like we are on the horizon, and some people have been complaining, wow, it's going to be another month, but we've been waiting for this for a very long time. 1 month is not far away, and a lot of people neglect everything that's had to happen to set the foundation for F assets and XRP DeFi. The Songbird network launched, 100 plus validators, the FTSO, the Flare data connector. Of course, the Songbird network, it went to the Flare network, all of that redeployed, the dApps that have been built so people can use their FXRP. And again, this is just a foundation, and we're just on the cusp of seeing F assets come to fruition, and it all starts with XRP. So I hope you got some to utilize, because again, I will be talking strategy with the Patreon family, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Moving along here, we've got this new initiative from the Flare team, $100,000 for the Flare community. Creators, researchers, event organizers, this is your moment. The Flare Community Growth Grant is now live. We're funding people already making an impact or ready to step up by growing, educating, and representing Flare across the globe. If this is something that you are interested in, creating content on behalf of Flare and helping share the news, you could actually apply for a grant and help you with that process. It's something that I'm going to be applying for, and I will keep you updated with the results. Moving on here, this is from the Flare Devs account, a security upgrade for the Flare network users. Ledger Clear Signing now supports Flare and Songbird contracts, bringing human-readable transaction details to your Ledger device. So normally, for those who have a Ledger hardware wallet, you would look at it, it would say approve this transaction, and it gives you cryptic hex, which is basically just digits and numbers that no one can really understand. So now you'll see clear information about which contracts you're interacting with and which assets are affected. That's maybe approving something or sending something. It's going to be a lot clearer for you from now on. This is from Quantic, and a very nice visual, I must say. A strong demand underlying strong fundamentals. A reminder that Flare is being built to move logic rather than just liquidity. Flare's enshrined oracles, the FTSO, and the Flare Data Connector, the FDC, can feed tamper-proof Web 2 and cross-chain attestations straight into Flare consensus. So let me just run down that because it does seem quite a lot of jargon. Enshrined oracles means that the oracles are actually on-chain, part of the Flare network itself. When you look at things like Chainlink, they are a layer 2, but Flare has an enshrined oracle. This is part of the infrastructure of the network. FTSO, the Flare time series oracle, responsible for giving time series data such as price feeds for digital assets, and the Flare Data Connector, which is basically functioning to grab data from Web 2 and also external chains and bring that to the Flare network by using the validator consensus and basically proving that it is true. So all kinds of data, and it's very unique. Then Trusted Execution Environments, TEEs, Secured Protocol Managed Wallets, PMWs, will be able to use those proofs to trigger transactions across chains, while the resulting receipts flow back to Flare via the Flare Data Connector. This really is the holy grail, and I'm going to be talking a lot more about this in detail moving forward because, you know, I think F assets is one thing, but this is really something else. These protocols, the data acquisition protocols, the FTSO, the FDC, enable F assets to function, but this is just the start. This is what we see here is what is really going to change the game, where people can interact with many blockchain networks without ever having to leave Flare. And this is a form of chain abstraction. I'll give you some more examples about abstraction in a short moment. We got this from Uphold. Starts here, Flare feels like it's one big move away from turning heads. Is Flare Network getting the attention it deserves? What is the key trigger that could unlock this next run? Well, Uphold put out this dubious tweet here, or this dubious post. The next move could be loud. FLR. I'm not sure if this is just a hype tweet or if it does involve Uphold, because we do know that they are looking to allocate a portion of XRP to the Flare network to give yield to their users, but maybe they're cooking up something else. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. More exchanges, new instant market listing, FLR. Flare Networks, FLR, is now available on DYDX, and this seems like quite a substantial exchange. It's got 282,000 followers, so great exposure, and it has just been listed. Another step in the right direction for building liquidity, not just on the decentralized exchanges, but also on the centralized exchanges, allowing people to get in directly from the cash, using their bank. Right, Crypto.com, another. FLR is now available for on-chain staking in the Crypto.com app. Yes, amazing. Start staking and secure your favorite blockchain or protocol while earning up to 10% rewards. Wow, this is amazing. Now, for anyone that's been subscribed for a while, you will know that the rewards are much greater than 10%. I think the monthly Flare drops, which are due to end at the start of next year, net you 2% every single month or somewhere around that. So, that in itself is 24%, and that's completely disregarding the staking rewards or the delegating rewards, the DeFi opportunities, rFLR opportunities. So I urge you not to get suckered into this. Although it is convenient for people who may not be able to interact with Fleur, I would encourage anyone that is sitting on the fence to subscribe to the channel and learn how to do this, because there are plenty of video guides and walkthroughs. I've done thousands of videos over the course of the past 5 years, and I'll continue to do many more in the future. And you can especially look forward to having an insight on XRP Fi and where the best opportunities lie there. This is from Bifrost. We are now Wallet Connect certified together with wallets like MetaMask, Ledger, and Trust Wallet. So a great step in the right direction for Bifrost Wallet. Speaking of wallets, we've got this from Oxenflow, and I want to talk about this in terms of abstraction. Nick, the founder and developer, says auto delegation and opt-in auto claim plus auto unwrap whenever sending to other addresses. The user really doesn't need to have knowledge of wFLR, that's wrapped Fleur. Ideally, we continue to abstract these complexities away from the user. You know, having applications that remove these complexity really does help with onboarding, and Oxenflow seems to have a strong focus on that. Oxenflow even unwraps funds to handle gas when the user is running low. Out of sight, out of mind. So some of you may have been caught with your pants down when you're sending FLR or wrapping FLR and you forget to save some for the transaction, and then you're left having to send it from send or deposit it back into that wallet from another account. It's really not convenient, but the user, from a user perspective, you shouldn't be having to worry about this. And it seems like Oxenflow is taking the steps in the right direction to remove these complexities and automatically executing certain features like unwrapping, just in case the FLR gets a little bit low for the transaction fees. Right, moving on, we're here on xHaven, the highest volume marketplace on Fleur. Looking at the top NFT collections in the past 7 days, topping the charts, we have Luxury Lofts from Xtoads. In second place, we have Freaks. In third place, we have the Focus Pass. In fourth place, the Yoru collection. And in fifth place, the newly launched Made collection. Congratulations to all those making it into the top 5 this week. Fleur Network does have NFTs, and some of you may be familiar with these particular NFTs. This is a Block Bonez one. We've got a Freak here. We've got a Yoru collection and a Smuggler Chimps collection. All 4 of these are powered by Digital Dynamix, the software suite that I am building that helps bring together artists and collectors in this incredible ecosystem. If you are holding a Block Bonez NFT, we've given out, or just today, 700,000 FLR distributed to all of the Block Bonez holders that are fully fused. This is how much you get. These are the various statistics. Of course, you get the Dynamix airdrop as well. If you are holding a fully fused Block Bonez NFT, you can claim these rewards at blockbonez.com/rewards. Right. In terms of Block Bonez as well, we do have a special trait auction that is going to end very shortly. In fact, I'm going to be releasing this video in the very near future. It's going to end at the time of recording in about 52 minutes. So if you are holding a naked Block Bonez and you want to fuse it, this could be a good chance. It's a 5-in-1 trait. So immediately fully fused. It's unique and it has a reward rate of 75 out of 100. Right, moving on here. Digital Dynamix, we also just released the rewards. If you are holding any of these collections, you can actually claim your Dynamix token, and the amount that you receive depends, or per collection, depends on how many are fully fused. So you can see that the Smuggler Chimps collection has 666 fully fused. Yoru has 314 and the Freaks have 128, and the amount that is distributed per collection is always the same, 150,000, although that is a promotional offer, and I think it's going to be reducing next couple of months' time to 100,000. But that amount is divided by the amount of fully fused NFTs, which is why the reward here for the freaks is much higher than the reward here for the smuggler chimps. Why do you want to accumulate this? Because you want to race to get one of the Digital Dynamix royalty NFTs. Each one will give you a 1% share of the royalty vault, and the royalty vault is basically an accumulation of FLR from every single collection. So any collection that is powered by Digital Dynamix contributes their secondary sales, a portion of them, 40% to the royalty vault. So the more collections there are, the faster this royalty vault fills up, and everyone that holds a royalty NFT can claim 1% of this. If you hold 10, you can claim 10%, and this is for eternity. These rewards will keep going indefinitely, so the race to get one of these NFTs is certainly on, and there are only 100, and they cost 1 million Dynamix each. Yes, if you do want to accumulate faster, I am actually going to be distributing a double airdrop for the Patreon Legends. If you are interested in joining, there is a link in the description, and this week it is 1,000 Dynamix. Each and every month we do 500. In addition to NFT giveaways, and the next giveaway that we're going to be doing is in a couple of days' time. I will be posting on the Patreon group, so stay tuned for that. And these airdrops are just for the Patreon Legend tier. Again, if you are interested, check the link below. If you are new to the Flare network, which some of you may be because we've seen an uptick in subscribers, which is very much appreciated, here is your DeFi cheat sheet. So look here, if you want to delegate, well, you can just do that with your FLR and simply wrap it. And you also have to delegate, choose someone who you want to delegate to. Liquid stake goes through Scepter here. We've got lend and borrowing from Kinetic. We've got swaps from Blaze Swap, SparkDex, and also Enosis. We've got trade perps or perpetuals. This is from SparkDex, and you've got leverage from Cyclo Finance too. So if you are wanting to participate in DeFi, definitely check out these applications. There are some great opportunities out there, but I think that the real opportunities are coming from XRP Fi, and this is just on the horizon. I'm extremely excited, and I hope you are too. Well, that pretty much wraps up this week's news roundup. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Do have yourself an incredible weekend. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.
Mission Control, we have liftoff.